Good morning. Happy Monday. How's everybody doing today? I am Stacy from Shabby Creative Whimsy. Thank you for stopping by my page. I'm looking I can't find the camera today. I'm like off. It's a little crazy. There we go. Okay. I think that's better. Oh my goodness. Good morning. Popping on live to do a quick painting. Thought maybe you guys might want to come along. It's kind of a gray day here, so I thought some shabby flowers might be a way to go. So I feel like I'm not looking. Where's the camera? I don't know. Anyways, I painted a sunflower yesterday and really enjoyed it. And I thought, you know what? Fall's coming and the flower beds are starting to go the other way here. And so why not make our own? Anyways, so get you down here. Oh, you're way, way down here. Okay. There you are. This is the one I painted yesterday. I'm using my junk journal again today. So I love it for just doing things for myself. Let me get you adjusted here so you can see good. And if I really like what I've done, then a lot of times I'll come back and do them on a canvas or a cabinet door or some piece of decor that I can upcycle and use in my home or in my shop. So I'm playing with some new techniques today. I'm going to do some blending, do some shabby flowers, and just turn the page here, you guys. And I usually try to stick to just 3 or 4 colors. I try not to do a ton of colors. I prefer to blend and make my own shades, but today I got out quite a few colors. Gonna just, why is that always a shadow and I'm not sure why. You need to bring this up higher. Yeah, there you go. All right, is that better? I think it's better. My phone does this thing where it dims the light on the screen for your eyes, so I never know what it's, if you guys are seeing a shadow. It does feel like you're seeing a shadow. I don't know why. Well, I think you can see, so we'll just forge ahead. So today I'm using more colors than I generally do, just because I'm feeling like it's a gray day and we need to brighten it up a little. Gonna start with kind of a, I guess you would say an ombre type of background. I'm going to use 2 colors. I'm going to use a teal and a white, and blend as I go. So, and I'm doing a angled background. I'm not doing a horizontal or a vertical today. My brush is pretty wet. Take another brush and blend. Bring that down. I want it lighter in the top. So what's everybody doing today? I happen to love Mondays. It's my day off. And just me and the dogs and the chickens here today, which is awesome. I'm going to add just a little more white. I think I got too dark too quick. I'll just add some in. So it's my day to play. Well, and do all the stuff we have to do around the house, but I like to start my day off with a painting. You know, I call my painting my art therapy. It's a great way to get your mindset for the day, find some gratitude, see the beauty, get your creative stuff going. So Again, just adding some more white. I'm just kind of mixing white and teal as I go. To just give me some texture and variance in that background. Go some more teal. I'm going to try not to get too heavy so that it will dry really quick. And we can, I say that as I dip into the water. And we can get right to the flowers, which is going to be fun. You guys know I'm a teal lover, but you could do this background in any color, right? Can you see how I'm getting variations in my shades? Look how wet that is. I might have to dry it a little. So, it just gives you some interest in the background. Really. And I'm not cleaning my brush so you can see the colors are blending as I go. And I'm going wet on my edges to really be able to pull that together. So we'll just finish up with white down here because I've got enough teal in my brush. But I like to have an interesting background. I prefer not to have it all one color. I know some people like that. So you do you. But for me, I like to blend colors and have some interest. When you're doing it on paper, it can get a little wiggly on you. So there we go with that. Let me get that from this edge. Put these in, put this, I don't know if I want to put that in the water yet. I want to come back and add just a little bit more white to the top. I'm going to use this little fan brush, which when I first started using it, I didn't like it, and now it's probably one of my favorite brushes. So I kind of find with the brushes, if you don't use a brush that much, it's kind of fun to get it out and play with it and learn what it can do. I'm going to get a clean dry brush here and just do a little more blending here to soften this up. Yeah, it's dry. I just grabbed these off the sink, so I don't know if it was still a little on the wet side, but it seems all right. So I'm just dancing that little fan brush around and then going right back while it's still wet and scrubbing it with my blending brush, which is a Shabby chip brush. Hi, Christy. Just playing with some background, some blending ideas. Gonna do some shabby flowers of some kind. Just starting our Monday morning off with a little fun, a few different techniques to try. Pretty simple. I really want it lightest up in this corner, so I'm going to add just a little bit more white here where I got a lot of teal there. And then I'm going to go back and just touch a few areas to give it a little more brightness. And if you get too much, just blend it again. But I don't like them to be too solids. I'm just going to go in and pounce on them a little, smush them out, which will still leave them pretty bright, but it'll give me a little bit of blending. If you don't get to them quick enough, might need to add a little bit of water. Let me just dry this off. I don't want it soaking wet. I just wanted enough to blend that a little bit. Just a little bit more blended down here. There, now it's coming together. So you can see my top corner is the lightest, and then we've just blended down the page. Good morning, Mary Ellen. No, this is the background I'm doing. I'm actually just going to go right ahead and do some flowers today. This is the time I have to paint and get creative, get my morning started. So I'm just taking advantage of it, and I thought I'd just bring you guys along, maybe give you some ideas, get your creativity going this morning. And so yeah, why not? So even though I did my background on the angle, I did my white, it's kind of like a cloud. It could be a cloud, it could be a wave. For me, it's just an interesting background in this upper left-hand corner. And then I'm going to place my floral design down here on the bottom right, just to kind of give some balance to the page. Like I said, it's just playing with different blending techniques today. Getting out some different brushes. I've fallen in love with this little fan brush. So I've been enjoying what I can do with that. Just wash it off here because I may end up using it again. There we go. And I'm actually using more colors today than I generally do. Let me get all these brushes washed real quick, guys, so I can use them. Man, got a lot of paint in that one. Even if it's not 100%, it's better than leaving it completely. And one more, my big one that I used to blend that big background. So anyways, that was a couple of chip brushes and a fan brush for that. You probably could do it with anything else you wanted to, but that works good for me, especially for backgrounds because they're bigger. You got a bigger space to work in. So it's nice to knock those out. All right, so I'm going to do my vase in purple today. And I'm going to get a little bit more white because, again, I like to have some variations in my colors. I don't like just a solid. So lots of white, guys. Always have lots of white. Black and white, right? So I don't think I'm even going to, well, let me see. Oh yeah, that's pretty dry. I can go ahead and draw it out. Righty. So what kind of vase do we want to have today, right? Let's do, it's a short page. I don't have a lot of room, so let's do a squat vase. Nice thing with vases, you can make them any shape you want. Can you see that green? I don't know if you can see the green. But, well, you'll see it when I draw it here in a second. So I just did a abstract vase shape. Nothing too crazy, just something fun and whimsical. Get my brush wet. I like to wet my brush before I dip into my paint. Sometimes I have to wet my paint, but because I do want to get some texture and some chunky in there. If I wet it too much, it won't give me the texture I like. So, get too serious about it, right? Doesn't that purple look good on that teal? And these colors just play together beautifully. And nothing better on a rainy day than to use some bright pops of color to start your day. And you can play with the shape after you've traced it out to bring it up to what you need. It's your own made-up jar, so you can make it any shape you want to. I don't try, I mean, I can do a mason jar or a standard vase. You guys see I'm adding a little white here. Whatever the case may be. But you know what? When you're doing a whimsical painting, you can do whatever you want. Just added a little white to that. And I'm letting it go ahead and streak, be streaky. Go back into my purple. fill her out. The darkest down here in the corner, because the way this is lighter here, it'll be darker here. So I'm thinking about my shading as I go. So I definitely want the bottom right corner to be the darkest, and then it'll be a little bit lighter on this edge of the vase that's towards the light. If there was a light in my imaginary photo, it just gives it more dimension if you think about that when you're painting. And if you forget and you get all the way to the end and it looks off kilter, you can always go back and add some dark where you need to, or some light where you need to. So very forgiving on that. I will actually come back in with a little bit of black and darken that. But if you go, like I said, this is a whimsical, so it's not a exact vase. But if you do your lighter section curved, like the shape of a vase would be, it'll make your vase look more dimensional. See, I'm going to, it's probably backwards on your screen, but I'm going this way on one side and this way on the other side to give a little bit of dimension to my vase and to give more texture to my vase. I'm going to go a little bit lighter in the center. Like I said, this is a whimsical vase, so it's not, I do want to get a little bit more into here. I'm going to take this and go with the lip, and I'm not making straight lines. If you're particular about that, go right ahead. I'm going to do more white on this upper edge. And I haven't washed my base, I haven't washed my brush, and my colors are all still wet, so they're mixing together well. I'm going to add some more dark over here. So if you stay with one piece while it's still wet, it's easier to blend. How pretty is that? It looks like a marbled pottery. That's what it makes me think of. Cute, cute. So a lot of fun for a quick little morning project. I'll wash that brush right off. I'm not washing them properly, you guys. I'm rinsing them and patting them dry just so I can use them again if I choose to. I'll wash them good when we get done. All right, so for the flowers, I'm using a dark teal. I could definitely use black for that as well, but I'm just gonna stay with the dark teal for right now. I'm running out of room. I brought the big plate back because I knew I was going to use a lot of colors today, but I have a backup plate if I fill it all. Sometimes I get carried away. Here we go. So I just put a little bit of dark teal here, and I'm going to wet it down a little bit. I'm going to use a skinny little brush. Where are you? A skinny little brush. And I think I will go ahead and just draw this out real quick, just to give myself a guide. I want them to be falling over a little bit. Maybe we'll do one way up in here. Maybe one more. I usually like odd numbers, so now I'm feeling like maybe we'll do one more. All right, 5. Why not? There's no rules when you're doing your own paintings, right? Do it how you want to. I'm wetting my brush, dipping it in my slightly watered down paint, and rolling it off. Just trace these lines here. And if you don't like the lines you made, then don't follow them. You can change them up when you draw your line, because that chalk will wipe right off when I get done. So, and this is just giving me a guide for where my flowers are going to go. I also don't like a solid stem, so when I get the flowers done, I will go back and put some dashes in this to break it up. So I don't even care if I don't get a solid line here. This again is my guide. A lot of this is going to get covered by the flowers, so you're not even going to see it. Oops, tipped into my white. This one's going to have a little white in it already. Oh no, I got it off. Okay, good. So there. Simple as that. Christy says, I love that. It looks nice and round. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So we're going to do a couple different kinds of flowers. I'm going to do pink. Actually, I'll do pink and purple, but we'll start off with some pink because I already got the purple vase, so I don't want as many purple flowers because I already have a lot of purple on my page. Told you guys I was using all the colors today, right? Just feeling a little froggy, like we need lots of pops of colors on a gray day. All right, that one's too small. All right, I'll start with this one. So I have an angled brush. I love my angled brushes. I have them in all different sizes. I can't read this. I think it's a 10. You use whatever size you like. Again, I'm going to wet my brush and just wipe the water off it. I'm going to dip into, can you guys see where I'm dipping? I don't know if you can. I'm dipping into the pink. I'm going to touch the white. And we're going to start off with some pretty little circle flowers. So I'm dipping into the pink, touching the white. And this whole stem here is going to be just these simple little sweet bud flowers. If you don't get enough white, just go back and add some. Pink, white. Trying to keep them round. I tend to get a little long sometimes. That's all right though, because we're getting down to the bottom. We might run out of room. So let's wiggle them right in there. All right, let's do another one of that same flower. Let's do it over here. I'm going to have to turn my page a little bit, you guys. I turn for the angle of my hand. I'm going to try not to drag my hand through those because they're still wet. So you can make them any size. A little more white in that one. Here we go. Just sweet, simple little circular flowers. The nice thing about doing whimsical flowers is it can be whatever you see in your mind's eye. It doesn't have to be a true flower. I don't try to copy Mother Nature exactly. She's a much better artist than I am. I try to do an impression of what a flower would look like to me, and it doesn't even have to be a real flower, you guys. So that's it, a couple of sweet little circular flowers there. And I really didn't want to I should have done the pinks on the 3 and the purples on the 2, but I didn't, so that's okay. I think what I'll do next is get a smaller brush and do a pink-purple combo on the center stem. Washing this off again and wiping it. Yeah, the vase came out really cute. Like I said, it was just a whimsical thought. It's not a... I didn't try to make a certain kind of... Is this a 10 too? I'd like one smaller. Oh no, it says it's a 4. Is it smaller? Let me see. Oh yeah, it's smaller. Okay, good. So the next one we're going to do that center one. And I'm going to go into my purple. You guys cannot see that, sorry. Go into my purple. And I'm going to touch into my pink. And on this one, we're gonna do just a push and a lift. You see that? Into my purple, touch into my pink. I'm gonna do a push and a lift. All right, purple, pink. So I'm just bringing the color of the vase up into the rest of the painting. But I wanted to have not too much purple. So by combining the colors, it gives me a little more freedom with that. So it's not, again, I'm not one for solid colors, guys. I like to have a nice mix. And a little more purple there. There we go. But this is a pretty fun way to start a Monday and make something bright and cheerful. There we go. Nice. All right, so let's get all crazy and do all three colors on the other two. So we'll use white, purple, pink. I'm just using that same brush, marbling them together. Now the question is the shape of the flower, and I want to do something a little bit different. Yeah, let's do something just bigger. See how those colors all blend together real nice, you guys? And I just did a little teardrop C together and then did a C on both sides. So I'm going to just go ahead and dip into all three colors again and do the same thing. So I did that. You can see how, because I have all these colors on my brush, it just makes a really pretty swirly blend. Get back in there, I didn't get to the top. There we go. I might have to get a smaller brush to get down here. Let's see. And just by changing the size basically, I mean, it's a pretty similar shape to that original one. Might need a smaller. Let's see if I can just get a little one down here in these colors. There we go. Changing the colors and changing the size, it looks like a completely different flower. Let's see if I can do this without dragging my hand into the other one. Here we go. Need a little more white in that one. There we go. White, pink, and purple. No purple. There we go. One more. There we go. So, did I go off the screen for you guys? Sorry. There we go. Let me wash my brush off and dry it. We're going to go back in and add some leaves. Mary Ellen has to get ready to go babysit. Watch the rest later. Have a wonderful day. You too, Mary Ellen. Thank you. Yeah, definitely pop back and type replay so I know you came back. Had a chance to watch. All right. So, easy leaves. Again, not just one color. I am going to use that same dark teal green that I used for my stem that's in the background. And I will use, let me wet my brush, wipe it off. I'm going to use that dark teal green that I used for the stem. And I'm going to tap it into the white. So Where is it? Here you guys are. So that green and white. My brush is too wet. Let me dry it off a little bit here. Too wet, too wet. I don't want it to run all over my flowers. Here, just dry it off on a paper towel. There we go. So, my green and white. And I'm just going to stick them in wherever. Not really too concerned about it. It's actually the same shape as these flowers. Sometimes it's just a touch, depending on how much space or how big I want it to have. So I'm just lightly tapping a few in here. And I get up where I have a little more room. I can make them a little bigger. 2 green, add white. There we go. And it just breaks up that stem. These are really small, so I'm just touching in a few spots just to give the impression. There we go. And I got into something. I've already got paint on my hands. Lovely. Maybe that's just a little darker here. I'm going to come back and do a little bit more with these leaves once I get them down, you guys. I just want to get my spacing. Apparently I got a lot of white on this brush because they're getting really, there we go, they're getting really light. And we'll do some leaves down here. Is my base pretty dry? Yeah, it's pretty dry. And they don't always have to be connected to the stem when you're doing something whimsical. And you just need to fill in some spaces. Just go ahead and fill in some spaces. There, I think that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Just put some random little leaves in there. Now you know me, I have to come in with some black and do a little bit, let me close some of these up. A little bit of detailing. And I'm feeling like this corner might be a little bit plain, but I'm not sure that I want to do anything with it yet. I'm going to wait and see what it says to me. I don't know about you guys, but my paintings talk to me as I go. Get the black out. There we go. All right. Wash that brush off. Dry it a little bit. I'm going to go back to, yeah, let's use this one. This little Artist Loft. Artist Loft, number 4. A little skinny. I'm going to dip into my black. Now I wet my brush, so hopefully, well, I'm going to wet my black a little bit too, you guys, because I want this to be a little more flowy. So if you're using thick paint and you need it to be more fluid, adding a little water to it is real easy to do that. I'm going to go back into my little leaves. Let me make sure I don't have too much on here. Okay, with a really light hand and just touch them. And they're still wet, so there may get some blending, and that's okay with me. I like my paintings to all flow together, so if they're still wet, that works really well for that. So I'm just tapping in to my paint, rolling my brush off so that it doesn't have too much on it, and drawing little lines in my leaves, just to bring them out a little bit more where they may have gotten lost in everything else I have going on here. So how sweet is that, right? Now you could draw the line in the middle of the leaf to make it look like a more of a traditional leaf. But I find when I'm doing these whimsical paintings, the more I try to do a traditional look in things, the less whimsical it looks and the harder it is. And I'm all about just enjoying the process and not making it harder. I'm going to go ahead and draw just a smidge, a suggestion of a line on my vase. Like I said, I do dashes instead of a solid line. I find I like the look of that better. Can always add more if you want to, but just enough to give it a little bit of depth and not nothing too solid, I guess I would say. And I'm feeling like these flowers that are the darkest, I'm going to go in and add a little black to them just to give them a little definition. And I'm probably going to go back and add a little white to them too, because I feel like they're too, I'm just going to go up one side of them over here because this is the curve away from the light. And I'm going to go up the other side of them over here because this is the curve underneath of the light. Again, just thinking about light and dark values. Let's see if I can clean this brush off and come back with some white. Well, those are still, let's see if I got the black out of it. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to touch into my white with that same brush. I'm going to come on this side of them. Just to give them some variation in color. And these ones I'm going to go on the inside of the petal. And I'm just touching them. I'm not, nothing fancy there. Just touching them. Like I said, I like to break up my stem a little bit. These guys up here, right? Because that green that you're seeing is going to disappear. Let's do a little bit of highlighting down here on these guys, right? On this sunny side of life. And these guys are really in the light. They can get color on all sides if you want. And this down here is probably going to be on this side. So just going back and adding a few dashes or touches can really make your painting pop. These ones, of course, it's coming from over here, so I'm going to go ahead and do these sides. And that's my thought process when I'm there we go. This one's really in the, she's a big girl here. Put her on a little bit. Here. So anyways, I still feel like these guys are a little bit too dark. I think I'm going to go back into my purple and I'm going to mix it with some white. If you have a spot that's just feeling too dark, don't be afraid to take that base color that you're using and add white to it to lighten it up. So I've added purple and white. And this is with a point in the painting where you have to decide when to stop and when to keep going, which is my downfall usually. I'm going to just go ahead and add a little bit. I should have got my, let me get my other brush because, here we go. I'm not getting the shape that I want, you guys. So I'm going to go back in and push these like I did, there we go, originally. Try not to get too much on there because I don't want to cover up all the pink, but I'm just lightening these a little bit because I feel like it's really dark. So add another shade just by mixing that purple and white. not going to take a lot of paint, just enough to brighten these up a little bit. There. All right, so we're feeling pretty good about it. I'm going to go ahead and do some white dots to bring some white through a little bit more. And then I'm going to go ahead and do some edging. Here we go. So I'm just going to use the end of my, where are you guys? The end of my brush. Just to fill in a little bit where I feel like there's nothing happening over here. And because this is a whimsical flower painting, you guys, this would look really cute on a cabinet door. Those of you that are furniture painting people, this would look great on a little table, on a chair seat, something like that. Or just, I think I might redo this one on a canvas for myself, because I think it's really cute. And I think this would work well on a canvas. I know you're not going to see them up here in the clouds that much, but there's a suggestion of them being there. But can you see how just doing those few little dots just kind of filled a little bit more into that space, brought it all together. Now you could completely go around this in any of these shades that you like. I'm going to do the black because there's very little black in this painting. And because if you know me, you know I love my black edging. Can't help myself. So I'm going to go back into the black. I got so much stuff on this plate, you guys, I can't even. I'm going to go back into the black, get it on my brush, and wipe it off so it's pretty dry. I'm going to wipe it off over my thing because remember I watered down that black, so it's wet. So I want to wipe my brush off really good because it is going to, the paint's going to run if I don't wipe my brush off really, really good. Oh my goodness, this black is really wet. I probably should have used, well, that's why you call it a junk journal, because you can just, and it's harder to do this on paper. Obviously on a canvas, it'd be a lot easier, but don't get too, I gotta turn, won't get too crazy about it. And I'm gonna get black on my hand and I can't even see the front, and I'm good with it. I need more black than that, you guys. I'm just getting started. Might be enough for you if you like it light, but drag this on here. There we go. I'm gonna have to, here we go. And the nice thing, this is dried. Just stay out of my white dots there though. So I can get some good texture in my edging if I want to. Really want to get down here in the corner of this vase to really, that's the darkest spot on my painting, so I can go ahead and get a little heavy-handed down here and be happy with that. There we go. And let's get in here a little bit. I'm using my finger to just smudge it out there a little bit more because I like it to show the texture of that paint behind it. Because if you remember when we started, I did some real pushing with that other brush to blend it, and that gave me a lot of texture. Can't really get a good edge on a paper, but you can get the idea. There we go. So yeah, that's my Monday morning fun, playing with flowers. And when this dries, I'll knock the green off from the chalk that is still behind there. But Christy does a heavy eyeliner. Yeah, I like it too. So anyways, get you turned around here so you can see. So Monday morning fun. Ooh, what happened? You blinked out. Got too light, I guess. Good way to start the day. Simple little flowers, shabby little thing, and I think I would definitely do this one on a canvas too. I like words, so I might put some words either up in here or maybe even something down right under this flower. Something inspirational or something sweet. I'll see. I like the black frames it. Yes, I do too. It really does. And especially if you're doing it on a canvas and you're not framing it, that's a way to go. Or even if you're doing it on a piece of wood, cabinet door, upcycled piece, it just really does frame it nice. So anyways, that's my Monday morning fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for coming along and painting with me. Hope you get out and get a chance to create something yourselves today. And if you do any paintings and you want to share them with me, please feel free to do so. I always like to see what you guys are up to too. And let me get you up here. There you are. So anyways, thanks for stopping by my page, and we'll get together again and paint someday soon, I hope. Have a great Monday. Thanks everybody. Bye.